Today, we're digging into a really important paradox, one that every single seasoned traveler needs to understand: how the very experience that gives you so much confidence on the road can also, strangely enough, be your biggest vulnerability. We're going to break down why that happens, and more importantly, what you can do about it. The central dangerous irony of exploring the world in later life is that the very confidence and worldly wisdom you spent 60 years accumulating can become your greatest liability the moment you step onto foreign soil. And that's not just a nice-sounding phrase. It's a hidden truth that can affect even the most experienced of us. It's a trap. And in this explainer, we're going to learn how to see it coming and, crucially, how to disarm it. So, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll define what this wisdom trap actually is. Then, we'll dive into the fascinating biology of why our brains kind of set us up for it. After that, we'll get practical. I'll introduce you to a powerful system called the Tactical Awareness Protocol and a clear strategy to put it to work. We'll wrap up by talking about a new travel mindset and leave you with a simple commitment you can make to yourself. All right, so first up, the wisdom trap. This is really the heart of the matter. This idea that your decades of experience, which feel like a suit of armor, can actually have some dangerous chinks in it when you're traveling. This all starts with something called the illusion of immunity. You know the feeling, right? It's that voice that says, hey, I've been around, I've seen it all, nothing's getting past me. And look, that confidence is earned, but it can also create a massive blind spot. This isn't about being naive. It's a little trick our brain plays on us, where we just assume that because we were safe yesterday, we'll be safe tomorrow. But the game changes when you're in a new place.
And this right here really gets to the core of it. See, at home, we run on autopilot. We use these mental shortcuts. Psychologists call it the familiarity heuristic that let us navigate our day without really thinking. We know the social cues, we know the streets, it's all automatic. But the second you step into a foreign country, everything is new. Unfamiliar customs, you're constantly looking at a map, trying to figure out the money. All of this puts a huge load on your brain. Trying to use your home rules there, it's like trying to use your house key to open your car. It just doesn't work, and it leaves you fumbling at the lock.
So let's go a layer deeper, because this isn't some personal flaw or mistake you're making. This is about your biology. There are real, scientifically backed changes that happen in our brains that create these exact vulnerabilities. And just understanding them is the first huge step toward beating them. First up is something called the processing tax. I want you to imagine that your brain's attention is like your phone battery. When you're in a new country, just simple things like ordering a coffee, reading a map, figuring out the currency, they drain that battery like crazy. All that novelty consumes a ton of mental energy, and that means there's just less power left over for the really important background app of, detecting threats. Your awareness system is basically running on low power mode, which makes you a much easier target. And on top of that, there's a really interesting phenomenon called the positivity effect. Research shows that as we get older, our brains naturally start to focus more on positive information and emotions. Now, that's a fantastic thing for overall happiness, but it has a hidden downside for travel safety. It means we might unconsciously ignore a small red flag or brush off an uneasy feeling, because hey, who wants to ruin a perfectly good vacation day? We literally filter out the negative to protect our good mood, and that creates that dangerous blind spot. And this leads directly to our next point, vigilance decay. Studies have shown that as we age, the amygdala, which is kind of like our brain's internal alarm system, can have a slightly slower response to untrustworthy faces. Now think about professional scammers. They are masters of what's called predatory charm. They know exactly how to seem friendly, helpful, and completely non-threatening, because they are experts at exploiting this subtle biological shift. They know how to talk their way right past your brain's natural alarm. And finally, there's the social piece of the puzzle, the reciprocity trap. Look, most of us were raised to be polite. It's drilled into us from day one. So when a stranger approaches you, even if your gut is screaming, this feels wrong, that deep-seated fear of being rude or causing a scene can be totally paralyzing. And the people who exploit tourists, they know this. They're counting on your politeness to keep you stuck in place just long enough for them to run their play. Your own good manners become their best tool. Okay, so we've laid out the problem, we've looked at the biology behind it, and I know it might sound a little bit daunting, but this is the pivot. This is where we shift from just understanding the problem to actually deploying a solution. This is all about taking back control by installing a new, smarter operating system for your safety. And here's the crucial mindset shift. Travel safety isn't a feeling, it's not about being careful or just trusting your gut, because we've just seen how our gut feelings can sometimes be unreliable. We have to reframe it. Travel safety is a resource management game. It's all about strategically managing that limited cognitive battery to make sure you always have enough juice left for detecting threats. And the system we use for that is the Tactical Awareness Protocol, or TAP for short. Think of TAP as your manual override. When your brain's automatic systems are getting tired or biased or just plain tricked, TAP gives you a set of simple structural rules to fall back on. These aren't just suggestions, they are pre-planned, non-negotiable actions that take all the emotion and guesswork out of staying safe. So TAP is built on 3 really simple rules. Number 1, the zero trust arrival. That first hour in a new city, that's when you are at your absolute most vulnerable. This rule is simple. You create a sterile corridor from the airport to your hotel. No spontaneous offers of help, no shortcut taxi rides, you just get to your base. Number 2, the environmental anchor. Every 2 hours or so, you just stop. You walk into a safe zone, a bank lobby, a nice hotel, a coffee shop, and you do a quick security check. Phone? Check. Wallet? Check. Passport? Check. It just resets your focus. And number 3, the politeness pivot. This is your defense against the reciprocity trap. It's a pre-rehearsed line and an action to create distance immediately. It can be as simple as a firm "no thank you" as you turn and walk away. No hesitation. Your safety is more important than their feelings. Okay, so we have the protocol. Now let's get even more practical. This next part is all about 4 specific actions you can build into your travel routine right now, turning those principles of TAP into real-world habits. First, do a digital shadow audit. Before you even pack your bags, scan your passport, your driver's license, your credit cards, and save them to a secure cloud service. Turn on Find My Phone. Just knowing you have a digital backup if the worst happens dramatically lowers your stress and frees up that mental energy. Second, the 10-foot barrier rule. Make a conscious effort to keep some physical distance between you and strangers who approach you for no reason. This one simple habit completely neutralizes most pickpocket teams because their entire strategy relies on getting close to you. Third, the evening curfew for vigilance. Let's be honest, your brain is fried at the end of a long day of sightseeing. Your threat detection is at its absolute lowest. So plan the tricky stuff like navigating a new subway system for the morning when you're fresh. And fourth, the diversion awareness drill. You have to remember, scammers are just actors following a script. Go online and research the common scams for your destination. You know, the dropped wallet, the spilled drink, the friendly local with a map. Rehearse them in your mind. That way, when it happens, you'll recognize the script in real time and won't get sucked into the drama. Now I get it, adopting these new habits can feel, well, a little weird at first. It might even feel cold or unfriendly. This next part is all about making that mental shift that's required to really embrace this smarter, more strategic way of seeing the world. Let's just face this head on. You might worry about being seen as rude if you just ignore someone or walk away abruptly, but the reality is what feels like aloofness is actually a new kind of wisdom. It's strategic. You might worry about making a scene, but prioritizing your own safety, your own well-being, that's the ultimate form of self-respect. You are not responsible for managing a stranger's feelings, especially one who approached you out of the blue. You're only responsible for you. And please remember this. Awareness is the ultimate luxury of travel. These rules, these protocols, they're not about building walls of fear around yourself. It's the exact opposite. They are about creating a system that handles your security on autopilot so that your mind is free to actually experience the joy and the wonder of the place you're in. It allows you to be fully present because you know your safety is handled by your system, not by luck. So I really want you to let this new identity sink in. When you understand these dynamics and you start using these strategies, you stop being a potential target. You become something else entirely. You are a savvy explorer. You're prepared, you're aware, and you are in control. And that brings us to our final section. We've covered a lot of ground here, but all this knowledge is just potential energy. The last, most important step is to turn this understanding into a real, personal commitment to action. If you only take one single thing away from our time together today, let it be this. The problem is simple. Your own confidence and your brain's natural wiring can create a biological bypass of your safety instincts. The solution is the Tactical Awareness Protocol. It is your manual override switch, designed to put you back in conscious control right when it matters most.
So I'm not going to end with a statement. I'm going to leave you with a question. Think about the very next trip you have planned. What are the top 3 most common scams that happen to tourists there? Do you actually know?
Because that's your assignment. I challenge you, before you go to bed tonight, do a 5-minute search and find out what those scams are. And then actually rehearse your politeness pivot. Say it out loud, no thank you. And practice turning and walking away. That one small act of preparation is the first and most powerful step you can take to becoming a truly savvy explorer. Safe travels.